Did you turn 50 recently? Now, did you get a sense of panic that you can't explain after you turn 50? In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn that panic into something positive. You know, when I turned 50, I felt a nervous energy I couldn't explain. I just remember getting it, every few days, and I couldn't explain to why I was getting these feelings. I didn't share with anybody. I just thought it was just a part of getting old. But I couldn't help shake the feeling because it felt different than any other time I've gotten anxious about things. And I wasn't sure what it was. You know, I felt restless at times. I felt anxious. I felt, how should I say? I started to question some of my life choices. You know, the should-haves that I've could have done, missed opportunities, and part of me felt like time was slipping away. You know, because all of a sudden, I'm here 50 and started to think about, the second half of my life and realizing that, there's not much time left for me to accomplish the things that I set out to do when I was younger. And by all accounts, I was very successful. I had everything, nice home, great relationships, my own business. There was really nothing to complain about, but there's this feeling that something was missing. I was trying to pinpoint it. And I think turning 50 made me realize really how much time has passed, but also was a great wake-up call for me to remind me that I don't have a lot of years left, at least not as much as I originally thought. And I took things for granted when I was younger, but now, just always wanted to work hard and accumulate more things. And I didn't stop to really enjoy it as much as I should have when I was younger. My parents were aging. I had friends that were starting to die or get sick. And there was also physical changes that I had to deal with. Even though I was in great shape, my eyesight started to go. I started needing reading glasses. First time in my life I've ever worn glasses. And my energy levels, I notice, some days I just feel on top of the moon, and other days I just feel like sluggish. Recovery wasn't as fast. All these things, I'd wake up in the middle of the night to have to go to the bathroom. That never happened before. Or sometimes waking up and not being able to fall back asleep. So there was also a feeling that things just didn't seem fun anymore. Nothing seemed new. Everything was kind of stale, and I was kind of thinking to myself, what, I am successful, but I have more than I had in my 20s. But in my 20s, when I had nothing, things felt fun. It was exciting. And when the 50s came, I was looking for stuff to make me excited. I mean, I still love martial arts. I still love training, but everything seemed like routine and monotonous. So I knew something had to change to, kickstart that childlike curiosity that I had when I was younger, to make everything new again. So I started to ask myself, did I do enough? Did I accomplish enough? And is this all, life was cracked up to be? And what do I do now in my 50s, right? So as Gen Xers, we're always taught to push through pain, discomfort, not really reflect upon our life. But now I was forced to face reality. And as time, as much as I wanted time to slow down, it's not going to happen, right? I mean, I'm going to get older. I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to be 80. So maybe it's, we get depressed about our 50s, about getting older, but I think a way to look at it is when we're in our 80s, we're probably going to wish that we were in our 50s. So you might as well enjoy and make the best of it. And I could sit there, be depressed, and worry about things I can't control, or do something about it. You know, what can I do today that's in my control, that I can change and better my life and put the spark and zest back in my life. So maybe it's calling a friend, maybe it's travel more, maybe it's to pick up a book and start learning new skills, learn new languages, things that I've put off for years. I start to get involved with again, right? And one of the big things was, you know, coming from a background where I didn't have a lot of money growing up, and my parents were always struggling to make ends meet. I had a lot of problems spending money. I didn't want to spend money even on the smallest things. And I think once I start to see how short life is, I start to give my permission to spend money. Now, I'm not going to get reckless, go to a casino and stuff like that, but you know, I'm going to spend stuff on things that I enjoy, right? And I really enjoy travel. I enjoy learning stuff. I enjoy going out to eat and having great food. So I try not to feel guilty about it anymore, right? And that's a really hard thing to do when you're used to saving for tomorrow. But you know, what's the use of money if you're not going to enjoy it, and you're going to be, you know, 70 years old and your health is not going to allow you to enjoy it. So you might as well enjoy it now, and you know, and have fun, right, while you're healthy. So I think the epiphany came to me was when I sat down on the couch one day and wondering why I was getting these feelings. And I think, you know, you kind of look back upon, okay, did I accomplish what I set out to do? And it's hard not to compare yourself to people, other people, right? Unfortunately for me, you know, I didn't really compare myself to others, more or less comparing, you know, myself to myself, and ask myself to, you know, all these dreams I had as a child growing up, did I accomplish it? And am I happy at this stage of my life, right? So I had to resign myself to, okay, well, let's stop busting my butt for, you know, more money, and let's see how I can take what I've accumulated and have some fun. And because, you know, you worked all these years to enjoy life, you might as well start enjoying it now instead of waiting till 65 and you don't know what's going to happen, right? So I think a lot of people think it's a midlife crisis, they call it, or maybe it's burnout, but to me it's actually being aware of what's important in life. And it's not impressing people, it's not living someone else's expectations of you, but living more authentically and realizing that, you know, I don't want to get to 80 and realize that I didn't live the life I want to live. So I don't want to miss that opportunity in life. So that's when it all shifted for me, and I knew that if that was a problem, you know, thinking that way, and I need to change my life and reevaluate my priorities, and that's what I did. So there are many things that I feel that many of us can do if we have these feelings, and that is, you know, don't ignore these feelings of anxiety and getting older, because they are very real. Start asking better questions, you know, what really matters now, today, right? And what do I still want to do in my life? And what things can I let go of? Like what's weighing me down? Is it like toxic friends? Is it, you know, all these things, you know? And I felt that there's really nothing holding me back except for me, right? And I know that there's people saying that, you know, the cost of living and so forth, that they're not able to retire, but I know that a lot of people explored the idea of moving abroad to someplace else. I know that's not for everybody, but for some people, they move to Vietnam, Thailand, they live the beach life, and they're having a blast over there. And maybe that's a possibility. I don't know. I can't say for everybody. I can only say for myself, and for me, I'm going traveling, as you can see. I have no guilt, shame, coming out here, and yeah, I'm looking forward to more adventures, down the road. So I want to know from all of you, like, did you get these feelings of panic when you turned 50, and you couldn't really explain why, and but you knew that was a signal to make a change in your 50s, and I want to know what changed for you in your 50s, and what didn't you expect, So I'd love to hear from all of you, all of your comments, and yeah, feel free to share in the comment below. Okay, so if you like this video and resonate with it, please feel free to subscribe, like, or share, and I will see you next time. Check out my next videos. All right, take care. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.